What's My Line? Brought to you by Kellogg's, the folks who bring the best to you each morning. A wide choice of cereals in the forms you like best. Yours from Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning panel of What's My Line. First, the lovely star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
In the current True magazine, there is a story about the greatest American boa hunter of our time. Now, this boa hunter happens to be the first gentleman of the last state to join our union. We are honored to have with us tonight Governor Quinn from Hawaii.
And it's my privilege to introduce at this time the very charming, attractive, and articulate young lady, Miss Betsy Palmer.
And I would like to introduce the man who will sit on my left and who comes well prepared for Hawaii or any place else, Bennett Surf Board.
Well, I must explain that Dorothy Kilgallen was incapacitated covering the inauguration in Washington the other day. And I hope she's watching us tonight, watching Betsy take her place. The storm did terrible things to me, too, on Thursday night. I was stuck up in Boston. I flew up there in 40 minutes to do a lecture at Lexington, then came home in 12 hours and 20 minutes on a bus through the blizzard. And there's only the driver, a fellow named Jake Deck, a wonderful driver, got me home at all. I don't know how he did it. It's nice to see people who can still use their hands in America. And here's a man who can still use his larynx and how he uses it. He also was stuck in the blizzard down in Washington on Thursday night, John Charles Daly.
We did have some snow in Washington, too, and as I'm sure you must all realize, His Excellency, our esteemed member of the panel tonight, Governor Quinn, was down at Washington. And I could not help but think, Governor, about that wonderful Christmas I spent in the great state of Hawaii when we had this snowfall. And I would urge upon all Americans, I do this as a member of the Chamber of Commerce, whether the governor has appointed me to it or not, spend some time in Hawaii. You should save your pennies. It is the garden spot of the world and a true paradise, sir, and I think you should be very happy to do it, Governor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John, and you are herewith appointed.
I am now a member of the Chamber of Commerce, so let me tell you about Hannah Maui.
John, if you can't go there, read Michener's book, Hawaii.
Right, we'll do it.
Commercial.
That's a commercial. That's good. I think it was published by a mainland publishing house, Governor.
One of those fellows.
Well, it's very nice to have you with us, sir, and we consider it an honor that one of your great estates should join us on the panel. And having given you this compliment, look out, because now we're coming for you. As always, we hope to puzzle the panel and puzzle the panel completely. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the program. And now let's meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Right there. Marianne Means. Marianne Means. Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Miss Means, and where are you from?
That's right. I was born in Sioux City, Iowa.
Sioux City, Iowa. Well, it's nice to have you with us. May I present the panel?
Good evening.
Now, Miss Means, will you join me over here? Are you familiar with our scorekeeping system?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's let the audience here in the theater and those viewing at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we will tell you that Miss Means is salaried and deals in a service, and we'll begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Miss Means, do you still do your work in Sioux City?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Miss Means, you have the bearing of a girl that has a responsible position. Would one say that your job required training?
Yes.
Is it a job that requires good liaison relations with the people that you deal?
Yes.
Is it a personal kind of job?
I don't
By
know.
that I mean, do you deal directly with someone to whom you are very personally responsible, as opposed to a girl that sells in a shop, or a girl that directs traffic, or a girl that does a job that might deal with a great many people?
Well, I think we'd have
Are you
to say-
personally responsible to somebody?
Well, yes.
Some one person.
She would have an employer or a representative of an employer to whom she would be directly responsible. I would say also that she has and recognizes an obligation and a responsibility to others who would be necessarily those with whom she would come most in contact in doing her work.
That's glory. Do you work in Washington?
Yes.
Do you have any connection whatsoever with the White House?
Yes.
Would you have a direct relationship with the new First Lady?
No.
That would be... Now, here again, with your permission, in the terms of referenceship of the relationships that are possible as a part of the responsibility which must be carried by Miss Means, it is certainly within the purview of reason to consider that a relationship which we could describe as direct would obtain at some time or another between Miss Means and the new First Lady.
What I cannot understand is why a man with your diplomatic approach is not in this sort of a job. You'd be glorious in the White House. Well, then I may pursue this just one question further.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have direct contact with our president, President Kennedy?
Here again, if I may intercede.
You're doing beautifully.
What we're saying here, Miss Arlene, is in the area of responsibility which is properly Miss Means, it is possible that a direct relationship with the First Lady or the President might occur.
Well, I'll get off the hook in a minute. I'll just ask you whether your job would be considered a social kind of a position.
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Governor Quinn.
Would you say that you would occupy the same diplomatically phrased personal relationship with most of the people who either reside in the White House or have business with the White House?
That is possible, yes.
Yes.
Do you, as a rule, meet people who come to the White House for some purposes, official or social?
Yes.
And do your duties deal primarily with the social side of White House functions?
No.
No, they would be included as a part of an area of interest, which Miss Means would have, would not be solely concerned
Primarily.
with. That's right. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Palmer.
Miss Means, did you happen to work in some respect with President Kennedy's campaign while he was campaigning to become president of the United
As
States?
a part of the organization
Yes.
of the campaign? That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Sir.
Miss Means, do you have any relationship at all with any of the reporters or television people who come to the White House in search of stories?
Yes.
Are you the new press secretary down there, working in the, with
No.
the press?
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
But you do work with the press in some regard.
Yes.
Do you have... Well, does that rule out does Bennett's question rule out any publicity angles that you might be involved with?
What do you mean involved with?
Well,
Now, that question is so broad that it would almost be impossible to answer. Bennett put it down in terms of being a secretary in the press
Maybe she's the
office
head
of the...
press bureau, right?
do you work with Pierre Salinger in your job at all?
You work with Pierre Salinger in
yes.
your job? Yes.
Does your position have a particular title?
Yes.
What is it?
But it is funny, you're hanging right on the edge of it.
Are you the publicity secretary?
No, 6 down and 4 to go, Governor
Just
Quinn.
secretary, maybe.
Chief of the...
Are you primarily concerned... does your job include any supervision of others?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Miss Palmer.
Are you the head doctor for releasing all the news that might have to do with the female side of the family in the White House, the new family in the White House?
No.
Do you take care of the children by any chance?
8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Sir.
Miss Means, we're circling around it, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Do you yourself write stories and release them? Or are you the girl who gets out the releases that you give the reporters when they come?
No, 9 down and 1 to go, Miss Francis.
We have ruled out private secretary to the president, haven't we? That's
Yes.
out. I don't know. I'm fat.
I'm going to flip it. Governor, you want to take a shot?
There goes your
I'm going to
pencil.
pass to you. I think you're better. I'll look for my pencil.
I throw the towel in for you. Miss Means is a White House correspondent.
For some service, you mean?
It was Hearst headline service.
Well, you said she said she worked at the White House.
Well, she does. You work in the White House press room if you're a White House correspondent.
There you are.
Okay.
A regular press room. And I must say, at 26 to become a White House correspondent, if I'm allowed to give away your age, ma'am,
You've already done it.
is a great achievement. Well, you're to be congratulated.
Miss
I think
Means
you
has a
must be
means
proud.
to an end.
Yeah.
She must be very sharp to have that kind of a job at 26.
Phi Beta
I'd
Kappa.
also say that the press room is far more decorative now that she's there.
Thank you.
Well, many of your old colleagues are dear friends of mine. Bob Considine and I practically grew up together. But Bob is more than just one who's knowledgeable about White House. He was born in Foggy Bottom in Washington and
That's where
grew
I
up in
live.
that. Did you?
Yes.
In Foggy Bottom? Wonderful.
yes.
Well, thanks very much for being our guest and much success as a White House
Thank you.
correspondent. Nice to have you. All right, panel, let's see what we can do with the second challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Lorraine Trester, is that right? Is it Miss or Mrs.? Mrs. Trester, and where are you from?
From Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
That's right.
Nice to have you with us. May I present the panel? Will you join me over here, Mrs. Trester? Do you know how we keep score?
Yes, I do.
All right, then we'll let our combined audience, the one here and that at home, know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we will tell you that Mrs. Trester is self-employed and deals in a product. And let's begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Mrs. Trester, is your product a useful product?
Yes.
Would it be found in the home?
Yes, it would.
Is it a product I might use?
Oh, yes.
Is it a product that Governor Quinn might enjoy if I was using it?
Oh, yes.
I don't mean to involve you, Governor, but since you're one of our states...
I'm sure that almost anything you used I could enjoy.
Well, sir.
All right. Let's don't go further.
Let's never say aloha. Mrs. Trester, is it a product that, if in use, would be seen?
Yes, it would.
Would it be seen on the person that might be using it?
Yes.
Would it be seen on a lady?
Yes.
Would it be decorative? Would I be able to purchase it in a department store?
Yes.
Would it be something that might be seen from the waist up?
Oh, yes.
Would it be seen from the waist down?
Yes, it would.
It's a big one, isn't it? Would I wear it in the open on a cold day so that it would show?
Oh, yes.
Would it be a piece of outer apparel?
Yes.
Might it be considered in the area of the coat family?
It could.
Is there any fuzzy-wuzzy on it? Is it a furry thing?
Yes, it is.
You deal in some sort of fur that would be on a coat, then, Or might be on a cape or a capelet or a scarf?
Yes.
Do I have to find the particular fur? Swell. Is it from a small fur-bearing animal?
Yes.
Does it come in different shades?
Yes, it does.
Does it rhyme with sink?
It does.
Are you a mink-bearing animal, Mrs.
Now, you have got the animal is mink, but now what is it that Mrs. Trester has specifically to do with mink?
Well, she's so attractive, she should model it, but I have a feeling that isn't it. Do you breed mink?
I think we'll have to give you that. Mink Trester.
I was going to say it takes one to know one, but that wouldn't be true.
I must say, Arlene, this is a tribute to you and to Mrs. Trester. Such straightforward questioning and such straightforward answers, and we have come to a happy conclusion. So we'll flip the cards all over, and thank you for being
Thank you.
an
It's been
interesting
fun.
guest on What. And now we'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which, as you well know, my colleagues all blindfold themselves. Are the blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we go to a different form of questioning. One question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Betsy Palmer.
Are you female?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Sir?
Would you possibly be called a songbird?
I don't know.
I would say yes to that, though, Bennett. You're taking this in a broad term of reference, I take it, right?
Well, I mean, sings professionally.
Mm-hmm, that's right. And the answer is yes. Miss Francis?
Are you at the present time singing in a musical in New York?
No.
1 down and 9 to go. Governor Quinn?
Do you sing in a cabaret here in town at the present time?
No.
2 down and 8 to go. Miss Palmer?
Would you say you sang more in motion pictures than in anything else?
No.
3 down and 7 to go. Mr. Sir?
Have you ever sung at one of the fashionable nightclubs or hotel rooms in New York?
No.
4 down and 8 to go. Miss Francis?
This lady's out of work.
4 down. 4 down and 6 to go, that is, by the way.
Now, wait a minute. Now, no motion picture singing,
No motion-
nightclub singing.
No, Arlene, let me correct you. The question on motion picture had to do whether our guest had sung more in motion pictures than anywhere else. We did not say no motion pictures.
I see. Well, I don't actually, but anyway. What have we left out?
Opera.
Opera? Are you an opera singer?
No.
Oh,
5
well.
down and 5 to go, Governor Quinn.
You are not, now how do I get a yes answer to this? Let me see.
Not even.
Oh, that doesn't make any difference. You're not primarily known for your singing, are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Our
she
guest is primarily known for her singing No You Get. That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Palmer.
I bet your voice is lower than what you're using, isn't it?
No.
Well, I would say this. We'll give you a qualified yes now. Our guest's range is astonishing sometimes.
Oh.
And it can be low, but it is not necessarily lower than the voice you're hearing. It's very subtle right now, Mr. Sir.
Have you ever starred in a picture with Gene Kelly?
No.
That's 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you the great lady that sang the Star Spangled Banner at the opening of the inauguration yesterday?
Yep.
Well, wait a minute. We've got to be more specific.
Oh, well, wait a minute. I gotta... What did our guest say? Never mind, John, what you said.
No, we're not going to tell you anything. I want to be absolutely clear about the question.
Well, I'll tell you,
asked.
I was thinking of Marian Anderson.
No, that's 8 down and 2 to go, Governor Quinn.
Oh, my heavens.
Oh, but
She said she did sing in inauguration. Did you mean you sang at the gala?
Yep.
Miss
did?
Palmer? Yes, at the gala. Miss Palmer?
Oh, who sang?
Oh, I wasn't there. Everybody else was.
I was there. Can I tell?
Sure, tell.
Was it Mahalia Jackson?
Right. It was indeed at the gala, and if I may, and I hope it doesn't embarrass you, it was really, a great night for the people of the entertainment world because Washington had its snowstorm, as New York did, and I think many areas around the country had deep snow. The city was tied up with this snowstorm, and this great program had been put together by Frank Sinatra for this gala, and its principal purpose, quite honestly and so declared, was to raise money for the deficit that the Democratic Party had run up during the campaign. It was supposed to begin, as I remember it, Miss Mahalia, at, 8:45?
That's right.
It finally got underway about 10:30, but the remarkable thing was that everybody who was in the program arrived. Some came in street clothes because they just couldn't get to where their clothes were, or they just had arrived in Washington. And even more surprising to me was that more than 3/4 of the people fought their way through that snowstorm to the Armory that night and were in the audience. And it wound up, as I remember, about 1:30 or 1:45 in the morning, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
And it was a great performance by all of the people of the entertainment world, and I think outstanding in it was the wonderful voice of Mahalia Jackson.
Oh,
if I
thank
may
you.
say. Very nice of you to honor us here in production. Thank you very much. I think there's one point I should clear up. Miss Jackson is probably the greatest singer of gospel music in the world today and never appears in cabarets or nightclubs panel, which is why we gave you such abrupt nose to that answer, to that question, rather. Well, I must say, overall, I think you've done rather well tonight, panel.
Arlene did.
And we'll be back after this word from our alternate sponsor. And a small message to Dorothy Kilgallen. Miss Dorothy, we hope you leave the hospital soon and go home and then be back with us again for sure next Sunday night. Governor Quinn. Very nice of you to have been with us, sir, and we know Dorothy will miss not having met you tonight, although she did meet you when you were our guest before as a contestant. And give Buster McGuire, who I think is one of the great boosters of the 50th state, a big greeting for me when you get back.
I will, and may I express my appreciation to the stalwart on my right for carrying me through at any rate here tonight.
The important thing is, sir, we hope you had some fun. If you did, we feel that perhaps you'll come back and join us again.
I would love it.
And so on this happy note, good night, Miss Arlene Francis.
Good night, John. My love, Dorothy. And you can carry me through the state of Hawaii anytime, Governor Quinn. Thank you for being with us.
I would love to do that with aloha. And thank you. And good night, Betsy.
Good night, Governor. Good night, Dorothy. Get well soon. The seat's nice and warm for you. Good night, Bennett.
Covered very nicely, too, Dorothy. Good night, John.
Well, Bennett, I think you said that very well. And good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman.